The Blackfoot values and logo kind of started off with an idea I had of wanting a Blackfoot representation inside the police service to genuinely honor the Blackfoot people and any Indigenous people who call Lethbridge an area home. Since I've been working with Lethbridge Police Service, every day when I walk in, I see the 5 core values. As I see these values, I'm being reminded of my duty here at work. And with that reminder, I begin to parallel these values with the Blackfoot values we use in our culture. And so the Blackfoot values are a vital part to our community and culture. They influence and guide our behavior on how to interact and treat everyone and everything around us. When it comes to building relationships with not only Blackfoot people, but any Indigenous people, a good way to build a relationship is through our language. As a Blackfoot person, when we hear our language being spoken or we see it represented in the community, it makes us feel respected and heard and included. With Lethbridge Police Values, I wanted to translate the values into Blackfoot. And so with that, I got together with the Indigenous Advisory Committee, and we had elders from Piikani and Kainai come in to translate the values into Blackfoot.
Kimo, nitani nana ki makamya nistakkuin ni mak. No mitapo takiakso kaki no situksen nakieks, sikuhkutuk no kattapo tumuin nakieks. Haapas kimyan ni kaki makanistse manistakut fukapu taki makpi kitsishko anno Siksikaitsitapi kinoin nakikuaiksi. Haapas kimya muistis kaki kanasukapi. Kimakukanista muuksin nakiiksan no mitapo takiiksi makuhkaatista piitsi sääki päätäpiissinna. Kinuhkaaki issinaki ja niitsipuuksini. Hän ei Aisstakataa nahkuksi.
Inakootsiiyssini. That means in English, respect. First thing when we start learning how to walk and all these things, we're learning how to respect. So you respect yourself, Start learning about yourself. And pretty soon your whole body starts working towards a good life because you know all about yourself. You respect yourself. So once you respect that in life, through that, then you learn to respect other people. Yeah.
Kiamu courage enne nuka puutaksin matkupsi muhkaakanyo Iikitapiiysini. Iikitapiiysini ustoa akitai utapuutaksuai mahkai Iikitapiiysini sani kutapuutaksua. So enne mattanyo Iikitapiiysini.
There's a word that we use that we really like our children, our grandchildren to know or to learn this word, and it's accountability. Aisstakataa. Aisstakataa. Meaning you rely on the person that you have taught and that you know that has taken the word to heart and knows what that word means. Aisstakataa. So when the elders or whoever ask, say this to the person of Isspomaanitapiiysinni to help, but the word that she's actually doing is Aisstakataa. She's dependent by many people.
Okamotapotakssini. Okamotapotakssini Nukanis Siksikaitsi pinnaani muhkaaki haakanyo paaki Okamotapotaksin annai nukanis taaqtu pinnaan annai nit kuttanistu pinnaan aamu matuumuqsi naapi puurs.
So collaboration is Isspomaanitapiiysinni. And that means helping others. And in my own meaning of it is we're walking together to overcome the obstacles that we endure every day. How we can do it is by, in our Blackfoot way, we sit with elders to learn from them. Let's say for an example, the rules of everyday life. That collaboration is very powerful. We need to work with it and walk with it, and we all need to walk together.
I'm not sure the exact year, but a few years back, Tricely came forward with the idea of taking our values at LPS and translating them into Blackfoot. When I heard this proposal to do that, I knew right away it's something that I wanted to be part of. I thought it was an absolutely fantastic idea. As we talked about her vision and what she wanted to do, I quickly saw that there was an opportunity for us to do even more with the values, and translating them I thought it was a great idea and a great first step. But I thought there was more opportunity for us to do something even at a larger scale, and I thought it was important because our relationship with the Blackfoot is so important here. We are fully committed to reconciliation, and I thought there's just something we could do a little more. So we started having a discussion about creating a visual aspect to the naming, the translation of the values, and creating a piece of artwork that would encompass all the values into one visual piece of art. So we put it out to the public. We created a competition for a piece of artwork. Part of that was we interviewed some of the applicants, and about 5 minutes of having a conversation with Ina, we knew right away she was our artist. The passion she came with it, her personal story of what she experienced as a young person, her personal journey right now, plus the artwork that she provided. It was absolutely fantastic, and we knew right away she was the right person.
One of the hardest parts about creating this logo was being able to create a illustrated narrative to be able to speak to two different groups that don't really know a whole lot about one another. So my biggest thing was, how do you create one image to be able to impact the lives of two different communities, the Lethbridge City Police and the Blood Reserve? And so in doing that, what I wanted to do was reflect on our history as Niitsitapi, Blackfoot people. I wanted to reflect on how did we resolve conflict between tribes in the past. And when speaking to my husband, he had mentioned the peace pipe ceremony, something that we used to do. And so I went to my family and I asked them, can I use our peace pipe? I know that my grandfather, Percy Oldshoes, has a peace pipe that my aunt has right now in her possession, and I wanted to use that. And so in gaining this, in being able to have this peace pipe, I contacted my good friend Smokey Goodstriker and my husband, and I asked them if they could sit together and kind of recreate what a peace pipe ceremony would look like. So those are the two people that I was able to use as a template in this logo. Both people I respect very much. There's 3 elements involved in a peace pipe ceremony. The staff, which is straight, and that's supposed to represent the truth, because the truth is straight. It doesn't veer off. You don't go around things. It doesn't take turns. It is what it is. And then you have the stone, and the stone represents your word. Your word is as solid as a stone. And then the third is that when you smoke it and the smoke goes up, it goes to Creator. So even though that person may or may not be honest with themselves or, the other party, it doesn't matter, because what you've said and what you've spoke is in Creator's hands, and that's between you and him. So when I looked into the artist call out, it specifically said within the application, they're looking for Blackfoot artists. And so when having a Blackfoot artist, I wanted to create a Blackfoot logo. And that was something that I found that was really important, because it was a representation of the community that is just outside of Lethbridge. And I wanted to be able to represent that and my people. I had an experience where I went through a museum with 2 other artists over the summer last year. And in having that opportunity, one of the directors had mentioned, hey, we want to know if you recognize any of these artifacts as your own from your own culture. And so there was a little bit of confusion between whose was whose when I recognized some as our own from when I was taught, and some from their tribes that they recognized that's their own, although they were the same artifact. And so I just left it as it was. I didn't feel experienced enough to be able to argue that or to be able to dispute that. But there is one thing that I did know, is that the standing headdress is the Blackfoot. I know that the other ones that people use are the Sioux, and I knew that I didn't want to start culturally misappropriating other people's things within their tribes and claim it as our own. So in making sure that that was accurate, I did do a little bit of research into the Blackfoot Museum, and on their description on their website, they had also mentioned that the standing headdress could be worn by both male and female. And so I knew that that was something that I would be safe with, to be able to represent not only myself, but all of my people.
As you first come into this police station and you look up, it's there for everybody to see. You see our values in English, you see our values translated into Blackfoot, and the centerpiece is the artwork in between the two of them, which brings it all together. When you do something like this and you make it as bold and as big, you're just never really sure what the impact and how it'll be received, but it has been absolutely fantastic. People were thrilled to see it. They wanted to be part of it. We had a lot of people there for the unveiling of it. We've got a lot of ideas of how else we could use especially the artwork. It's been we put it on our community van. We've had discussions about where else it can be in the building. It has really built up. It hasn't been just an exercise to do something. You could really see that the employees here at LPS were really invested in it and took pride in it.